is Sadie Creech. Today I will be talking about Florence Nightingale from my Faces of History. As chaotic and stressful this current pandemic has taken over the world, imagine if there was no guidance on how to properly sanitize or steps to prevent the spread of COVID-19, as well as other epidemics. Luckily, a woman by the name of Florence Nightingale set a path for effective and safe care provided for patients that all healthcare workers utilize today. Believe it or not, the nursing profession was not nearly as respected or appreciated like it is today. There is one person to thank for that. That is Florence Nightingale. On May 12th of 1820, Florence Nightingale was born in Florence, Italy. It is a coincidence that her name and where she lived and where she was born are alike. Absolutely not. Florence's parents named their girls after the thrilling cities they were born in. The Nightingales were so rich that when they were married, they took a 2-year honeymoon through Europe. While they traveled, which was within 2 years, both girls were born safely before they made it back home. Florence's father encouraged her to listen and learn beyond what girls were asked of in her time. Naturally born strong-willed, curious, and a bit rebellious, created a strong bond between her and her father. Between learning multiple languages such as French, Italian, Greek, and Latin, her father and Florence loved to debate philosophies and the wonders of physics. As far as hobbies, Florence loved to read, write, and take care of a multitude of pets. Even at a young age, Florence kept record of whether her prayers were being answered, along with dates. With a curious mind and learning to keep record of events helped Florence become successful in her adult life. As she felt a calling from God to become a nurse, her parents were not accepting of this desire from Florence. During the 1800s, to become a nurse was only after everything failed, because it was better to become a thief or gambler. So it seems right that her parents would not want her prestigious and intelligent daughter to become a nurse during that time. After much convincing and realizing that when Florence had her mind made up, there would be no changing it, they agreed for her to become a noble nurse, regardless of her education and social status. She was seen as unequal in the eyes of male doctors. The male doctors, who did not take orders nor even considered listening to females during that time, found themselves in predicament when 700 soldiers arrived at one time during the Crimean War. On average, Florence worked 20 hours a day, with the foul smells, rats, poor drainage and sewage system, deaths, and uncleanliness. Florence knew there had to be a better way. By implementing sanitation among staff and patients, they scrubbed the floors, provided clean sheets daily, opened the windows for fresh air, fed the patients fresh food. Within no time, there was a drastic improvement in the health of their patients. If there were any nurse who did not meet her expectations, they were fired. Florence came up with a system to use chalk by the patient to number the patients in order to keep their diagnosis, treatments, and progress recorded. A reporter in 1855 wrote an inspiring article calling Florence the Lady with the Lamp, since she would roam at night safely monitoring her patients. On March 30th, 1856, a treaty to end the Crimean War came about, but Florence did not leave the hospital until her last patient left. Florence lived a life of service to those who were sick and needed her. Willingly and selflessly, she changed the appearance of nursing, in which it is respected and appreciated today. Nursing programs from around the world still acknowledge Florence Nightingale and her service to the field of nursing. Nurses who graduate their program must go to a pinning ceremony, take an oath to do no harm, and carry a candled lamp lit in memory of Florence Nightingale. After all, Florence is known and will always be known as the Lady with the Lamp. This is Florence Nightingale, approximately the time of the Crimean War. This is what she looked like. This is where where she was born, Florence, Italy. This is Florence Nightingale in action, taking care of 700 soldiers. This is what we think a picture of Florence when we hear the lady with the lamp. And this is what nurses around the world have to do when they graduate nursing programs. After they go to their pinning ceremony, they have to carry a lamp